First up, viewers, the ruling DMK continues to see red over saffron in Tamil Nadu. Now, in the latest, Tamil Nadu Governor Ravi's invitation and floral tribute to Thiruvalluvar on the Thiruvalluvar Thirunaal Vizha has sparked a fresh controversy as it depicts the revered saint poet Thiruvalluvar in saffron robes. Governor Ravi was seen paying floral tributes to Thiruvalluvar, raising questions about the celebration's timing and also the portrayal of the poet. Traditionally, Thiruvalluvar's Day is celebrated in January as part of the Pongal festival. Now, this isn't the first time, however, the depiction of Thiruvalluvar in saffron has stirred a political controversy, especially in Tamil Nadu. In January, a mural of Thiruvalluvar in saffron sparked a debate, with the Dravidian parties accusing the BJP of attempting to saffronize the poet, who is usually depicted in white. Now, why is there such opposition to Thiruvalluvar in saffron attire is the question that comes up. His legacy is widely accepted across caste and religious lines, but his religious identity and the period he lived in remains a matter of debate. Some view him as a Hindu, others as a Jain, or even as a saint with no religious identifiers except his Dravidian roots. BJP argues that Dravidian parties have removed Hindu symbols from Thiruvalluvar's depictions, while some scholars suggest the traditional white-clad image of Thiruvalluvar is a modern invention. Now, given this uncertainty, the big question is, why does the DMK insist on Thiruvalluvar in white attire? Is the opposition to saffron attire truly proof-based, or is it an agenda-driven stance is the question? Is the DMK scared of BJP's push for a saffron surge in the state, starting with Thiruvalluvar's robe? Now, these questions definitely come up, and today we're going to try and decipher this with our expert panel. Professor Madhav Nalapad is joining us today. He's an expert and political analyst. We'll also be joined in by Mohan Krishna, political analyst, and also former advisor to the Chief Minister, Mr. Basuraj Bommai. Ramasubramaniam, political analyst, is also going to be with us. Kovai Sathyan, spokesperson of the DMK. Before anybody else, I'm going to straight across go to Mr. Madhav, Professor Madhav. In fact, Professor, if you could firstly tell us a little bit about Thiruvalluvar, the person that he was, the history behind him, and more importantly, of course, did he have any sort of affiliations to ideology and today's political scenario? Do you think that can be related to what he was and how he was?
Well, Deepak, the fact is that Thiruvalluvar is officially said to have been born about 3 decades before the birth of Christ. I mean, frankly, it's hard to see what the politics of that period were. And certainly it would be very different from what the politics of the present are. So I think linking him with any kind of a political symbolism is not accurate at all. Secondly, saffron. Now, it's a beautiful color, but no political party has a copyright on saffron or on any other color for that matter. Now, for example, the Kashmir Valley is awash in saffron for some parts of the year. It doesn't mean that the Kashmir Valley is committed to any particular political party, or the farmers who are growing saffron are committed to any particular political party. So I think, frankly, merely the fact that he was wearing saffron robes, if that is seen as a political statement, in my view, I don't think that would be fair, for a simple reason. It's a beautiful color. There's no question about it. But as I said, there is no copyright on saffron where any particular political party is concerned.
Now, Mr. Madhav, the question that comes up here, Professor, is now what's the opposition to saffron? Now, many of the saints depicted in many of the books, they've been dressed in saffron robes. This is something that we've seen and through books, through various other portrayals, through paintings or maybe even depictions on television and various other aspects. But when there is a stiff opposition to Thiruvalluvar as a poet, as a Dravidian person, to have been, robed in saffron, the question that comes up is how much of it is political in nature?
Well, the fact of the matter is that Thiruvalluvar was one of the great philosophers of human history. His book, the Thirukural, all 1,330 couplets of it, split into three parts. It's one of the classics of literature. And it gives a complete blueprint for human life. It gives a blueprint for judging the methods of how wealth is created. It talks about how virtue can be promoted. It talks about the most beautiful emotion of love. It's an amazing work of the human mind. And Thiruvalluvar, if I may say so, of course, he's part of one of the great cultures of the world, that is Tamil culture. But at the same time, he's in fact a part of the whole of humanity. And the whole of humanity has a right to him and to his teachings. And he's studied across the world. So I think to limit Thiruvalluvar in a political context, especially in a political context dealing with, let's say, 2024, to limit him to a party, party kind of a construct, simply because of the color of the robes that he was dressed in during in one of his depictions. I think that would not really be a very logical inference to draw, and I think it's really much wiser to please keep this very great saint of humanity out of all politics.
Professor Madhav, one more question quickly. I want to get to know from you, from the writings of Thiruvalluvar, what is available, of course, for us to read. Is there any mention of not probably leaning towards the Sanatan Dharma, not probably wanting anything to do with the Saffron ideology that, of course, keeps coming up time and again in today's political scenario? Was there anything to hint that? Because, to spark off such a debate, there has to be something inherent in nature. Is there anything of this sort?
Deepak, saffron is seen as the color of renunciation. The reality is that those who are followers of Sanatan Dharma are dressed in all kinds of clothes, including Western clothes, for example, and multiple colors. So again, an association of a particular dharma with a particular color or even with a particular dress, I think would not be correct, especially in the 21st century. And so far as Thiruvalluvar is concerned, well, he was born at least a few decades before the birth of Christ. But the reality is that several of his elements have been seen to have a relationship with philosophies that have been there all across India, including the philosophies of the Vedas. And the reality is that all these philosophies come together in a magnificent tapestry. And if I may say so, the philosophies created by the great thinkers of Tamil Nadu. Tamil culture is one of the glorious cultures of the world. The Tamils have basically generated some of the greatest minds of the world. But all this is part of the rich tapestry of, if I may call it, Bharatiya culture. Please, I don't mean to offend anyone. I don't use the word Bharatiya in a political sense at all. I mean it in a deeply cultural and reverential sense. I think, frankly, it is doing a discredit to this very great saint to limit him to that kind of a very narrow prism. And I do wish that this kind of controversy is avoided.
Professor Madhav, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your insight into this story. Now it's time, of course, to delve into some of the politics as well, because that is key in right now, considering these elections, and for political personalities and political parties in particular, making statements like this, like you mentioned, of course, it's probably unnecessary to rake these issues up, but it time and again does happen. Now, my colleague Varshini, of course, has been covering all the political developments pertaining to this. She joins us live as well. Before I go across to my guest, I'm going to straight across go to her. Varshini, today we saw the governor pay his floral tributes. What's the response been like from the DMK and the AIADMK there?
Well, Deepak, the row has only escalated in the state of Tamil Nadu because of the governor invitation in the beginning. Then the picture that we all saw about governor paying floral respects to Thiruvalluvar's picture in a, saffron robe. And now you can see this picture is also now placed right in front of the hall where the event that the governor had planned to celebrate along with a lot of guests based for celebrating the Thiruvalluvar Day. Let me just open the the door right ahead and show you the visuals of this event that is happening. There are a lot of people, including people from Thiruvalluvar Association, scholars, poets, Tamil literates. A lot of people have come to attend this event, and they are in fact singing praises, and they are in fact explaining why exactly today is the right day to be celebrated as Thiruvalluvar Day and not January 15, which is being traditionally celebrated in the state of Tamil Nadu. And in fact, this is a celebratory event that is happening for the past couple of hours and is expected to end for more than an hour. Therefore, Deepak, if one should
Okay,
speak
very
about
quickly,
this,
Varshini, I want to get this aspect as well, and I want to get clarity from you. Who are the invitees to this particular event? Was the government invited? Were all the political parties there invited? And who are in attendance there?
Well, Deepak, the government or the political parties or any politicians have not been, in fact, invited for this event. But rather, if you can see, there are a lot of people who have been doing research in the history of Tamil Nadu, the Tamil civilization, and how Thiruvalluvar was one of the key persons to be read about and spoken about. And particularly, if you see, there are a lot of associations like Thiruvalluvar Tamil Sangam is one of the association, and the representatives are here. Thiruvalluvar Thirunaal Vizha is another outfit from which representatives have come. A lot of literate Tamil scholars are here, professors are here, a representative from the Central Institute of Classical Tamil Language are also here. So people are all related to, contributing to the research of the history of Tamil civilization are the ones who are participating in this event. And there are some people also from a political, background, but who are not representing any party. So therefore, this is not at all a political event, Deepak. Rather, there are only people who can contribute to the discussion about whether Thiruvalluvar was a saint or not, like the BJP and the governor are claiming, and how the DMK is opposing to the very fact that the Thiruvalluvar was only a scholar, a poet, a great one, in fact, in that matter, but not at all a saint. And we cannot put this saffronization on top of his face, is what the DMK is alleging. Therefore, people who are present in attendance at this event are definitely not from the political side, but who are helping to prove the point that Thiruvalluvar in fact was a saint, and in fact his writings were definitely, could be linked to some, Hinduism basically.
Right, Varshini, thank you for bringing us that perspective and also the live updates as to what's happening there at the event. Kovai Sathyan, spokesperson of the AIADMK, I'll come across first to you, Mr. Sathyan. How does the AIADMK really view this event and the entire controversy surrounding the saffron robe as well?
Thank you for addressing me as AIADMK spokesperson, because in the opening you said me as a DMK spokesperson, Deepak. Thanks for the clarification and correction. And ideologies and color cannot be separated. It is inseparable for quite a period of time. And trying to prove the point, to prove the ideology, is condemnable. That's what Raj Bhavan has done in Tamil Nadu, and they are doing it for a quite amount period of time. If there is an ideology on Hindutva which is linked to saffron color by BJP, and the Raj Bhavan office wants to take it forward in the same way by distorting history and facts, is highly condemnable. If today is the right day to celebrate Thiruvalluvar because suddenly BJP found out that the birth of Thiruvalluvar is today and this is apt, why was nobody raise an objection when Thiruvalluvar Day was so far being celebrated in Jan 15, which is a government holiday? When did BJP of Tamil Nadu voiced their opinion saying that that was a wrong day, it should be celebrated in some other day? Why now? Has Raj Bhavan outrightly become the mouthpiece of the ideology propaganda of BJP? When did Thiruvalluvar become a saint? All I know is he's a great scholar and a poet, a happily married person. Why to distort history to suit a narrative is what the question in everybody's mind in Tamil Nadu right now. And on top of it, why does DMK wants to again brand the color towards a religion and an ideology? Isn't color universal? What if Thiruvalluvar were to be given a green color, would they say it is minority appeasement? Or if it were given a black color dress, would they say Thiruvalluvar is an atheist? Would DMK say that's right? People who believe in divisive politics and divisive thoughts are the ones who are spinning this narrative. And it's so unfortunate to note that Raj Bhavan has fallen to this trap by calling out people, and nobody would have done justice and honor to Thiruvalluvar than AIADMK. The 33 feet statue in Kanyakumari, the foundation stone was laid by our leader, Porchi Thalaivar MGR. Along with the midday noon meal scheme, we conducted classes promoting Thirukural to the students. And nobody have done honor and justice to Thiruvalluvar, the statue of Thiruvalluvar in Delhi. We can name it many, but why do you want to drive an ideology narrative with attire for somebody who is universal, whose contribution is universal? That's a question lingering in everybody's mind.
Very interesting and very shrewd as usual, Mr. Sathyan. You've hit out at the BJP and the DMK through some of your statements. So I'm going to ask them for a response. Mohan Krishna, what do you make of the AIADMK saying here that the BJP doesn't raise objections on the 15th of Jan, now wants to build another narrative? On the other hand, the DMK as well, he's hit out, but of course I have the DMK respond to that. Please respond to what he says about the BJP's agenda here, and whether the governor's office is becoming the mouthpiece of the ideology of the BJP.
Good evening, Deepak. Mr. Nalpat has said very clearly, you have to see saint as a saint, spade as a spade, call spade as a spade. If today Tamil
But the argument here is that, Thiruvalluvar was not a saint, is what Mr. Sathyan says. He was a scholar, happily married man. He was a poet. Why bring in aspects which haven't been in existence is the argument.
No, let me complete it. Deepak. Look, see, they have their own agenda, and as per the agenda, the history has been distorted many a times in the country, not just in Tamil Nadu, in the rest of the country also. We have found, look, one thing is very clear here. You have shown the live pictures of the governor attending the function. Are there any political party representatives there? No. Who are there? They are all research scholars. You know what? Today, Tamil language has got a classical language tag today, is because of these kind of poets, saints. They have done enough and more for the state, Tamil Nadu state. It was a country then. After Mr. Thiruvalluvar fought with Mughals, that is the issue with this DMK, and as well as with the Dravidian parties. Let's come to the point what you are making. Why should governor do a ideology promotion? Why should he do it? He has been called for a function where there is no political, it is not a political event. Why unnecessarily creating a sphere of confusion amongst the people?
Many would ask,
Second thing,
Mr. Krishna, many would ask, why not have this event on the 15th of Jan itself? When the state is celebrating Thiruvalluvar Day.
These researchers might have found that the history has been distorted. Actual date is May 25th. For that matter, the research are going. You know, you don't know, I don't know. There is a thing that he has lived between 6th to 8th century. We don't know exactly. He has worked for the Tamilians. There are big fan following for his poets also. Tirukal as well. People followed him not because in olden days there was no Hindu, Muslim, Christian or something like that. When the British colonial thing took place in India, the conversion took place in Tamil Nadu more. Today you talk more about Christianity there. Before that there were only Hindus there. Why can't you accept it? You have to accept it. Because of the invasion, country has been invaded many a times. This, especially Tamil Nadu,
so that's
was
the
under
justification
Nawab.
to have a saffron robe on the poet, which the AIADMK says is just a poet. Why have him in saffron? Is that the justification?
Let me ask a simple question to these Dravidian parties who are opposing the saffron. Mr. Nalpat said very well, J&K today, for quite a period of time when the saffron blooms, it will be full of saffron because it is a nature. Eyes have been given to attraction. It's a color. Why are you so behind that? See, as a Hindu, I am
Okay.
also wearing white dhotis,
Okay,
saffron
okay.
dhotis,
I'll
blue
also want to
dhotis.
bring in the DMK perspective here, Mr. Krishna. Let me very quickly bring in Ramasubramaniam and let's see, of course, what's his take on what Mr. Sathyan said. And also, of course, what Professor Madhav had to say in the initial part of the show.
At the outset, I would like to make it very clear, I am not a DMK man, nor am I a DMK spokesperson. But however, I take a strong objection to the way this program is being conducted by the governor of Tamil Nadu for the simple reason he is spoiling the dignity and decorum of the office of the governor in Tamil Nadu and the smooth functioning of the state. Thirdly, unnecessary interference in the state administration. For example, when was this decided? When Thiruvalluvar was born and what should be the date for his birthday and what should be the celebration and all that was decided much before DMK came to power in 1967. It was during the period of Mr. Bhaktavasalam, the then governor, then Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, Congress Chief Minister. This was decided. Now, having said that, at that time, the picture of Thiruvalluvar was drawn. That picture was officially accepted throughout the state and that is well accepted throughout the world also by all Tamilians. Why you are suddenly making it as a saffron color? It is only to create some kind of a rift with the state government. That is absolutely unacceptable. In fact, he is our governor is unnecessarily creating controversy in Tamil Nadu time and again, which can never be denied at all. Where is the need for
What do you make of
politicizing?
what do you make of the debate around the saffron robe and the DMK's objections to that?
See, that's what I'm saying. See, this is not the non-saffronization or the white robes of Thiruvalluvar was accepted way back in 1967 by the government, Congress government. That is in practice. Why are you unnecessarily disturbing that? I mean, I can say any color is acceptable because nobody has seen Thiruvalluvar. Nobody knows about the attire of Thiruvalluvar. It is anybody's imagination. But however, at the official level,
then where does the problem arise? See, whether you depict Thiruvalluvar in white or in saffron or in blue, where does the issue arise?
That's what exactly I'm saying. See, it will not make any problem at all. There will be no issue at all had there been no precedent, or to say the practice which was introduced prior to 1967 by the government. Why are you unnecessarily disturbing that system? This is the question. Second point, with the due respect to my friend from AIADMK, he says this was actually installed by or inaugurated by Dr. MGR. But the fact remains that it was actually the statue was inaugurated by none other than Dr. Kalaignar. That is the truth. So I just don't want to get
Mr. Ramasubramaniam, thank you for that perspective. I believe right now from hearing all of your opinions and your perspective, it's pretty clear that this is more to do with politics than anything else. Unfortunately, I'm out of time on this debate. Thanking all our panelists for that quick perspective that you brought to us to get more clarity into this particular matter. The politics in the state will continue probably. I'm slipping into a quick break. On the other side, in Coimbatore, a very unfortunate incident has taken place. 2 young girls have lost their lives. We bring you all the updates on that and much more. Stay with us.